For millions of years, trees have been the silent architects of life on Earth. They breathe so that we may breathe. They stand so that rivers may flow. They exist so that entire ecosystems can survive. But what if, in one unimaginable scenario, every single tree on Earth were to disappear? No forests, no jungles, no orchards, no single leaf left standing. What would happen to our oceans, our skies, our animals, and to us? This is the story of a world without trees, and it is a warning we cannot afford to ignore. Trees produce approximately 28% of Earth's oxygen through photosynthesis. The rest comes largely from ocean phytoplankton, but without trees to regulate land-based carbon cycles, those oceans would rapidly acidify. Within weeks of every tree vanishing, oxygen levels in the atmosphere would begin a catastrophic decline. Cities would become suffocating chambers of carbon dioxide. Within months, breathing outdoor air in many parts of the world would become dangerous without assistance. The very act of taking a breath, something we do 16 times every minute, would no longer be guaranteed. Trees are the invisible engineers of Earth's water cycle. Their roots absorb groundwater, and their leaves release moisture back into the atmosphere through a process called transpiration. The Amazon rainforest alone generates its own rainfall, creating what scientists call flying rivers in the sky. Remove every tree, and these invisible rivers vanish. Rainfall patterns across every continent would collapse. The great rivers of the world, the Amazon, the Ganges, the Nile, would shrink and ultimately run dry. Without trees, there is no rain. Without rain, there is no life.
Beneath every forest lies a miracle, living soil. Tree roots hold billions of tons of earth together, preventing erosion and nurturing the microorganisms that make agriculture possible. Without trees, that ancient soil, built over thousands of years, would be stripped away by wind and rain within a matter of decades. The world would face catastrophic desertification on a scale never seen in human history. Fields that once fed nations would become oceans of dust. No soil means no crops. No crops means no food. And no food means the beginning of a global famine of unimaginable proportions. More than 80% of the world's land-based species call forests their home. Trees provide food, shelter, nesting grounds, and the entire food web that sustains complex ecosystems. Without a single tree remaining, the collapse would be near total and near instantaneous on an evolutionary scale. Insects would vanish first, removing the foundation of most food chains. Then birds, then the large mammals that depend on them. Species that took millions of years to evolve would be lost within generations. The silence that would follow, where once there was birdsong, would be the sound of an extinction event, rivaling the fall of the dinosaurs. Trees are the planet's natural climate control system. Through photosynthesis, they absorb billions of tons of carbon dioxide every year, preventing runaway greenhouse warming. The moment every tree disappears, that carbon, stored over centuries in trunks, roots, and leaves, would be released back into the atmosphere simultaneously. Scientists estimate this would add more than 800 billion tons of carbon dioxide to our skies. Global temperatures would spike within years. Storms would intensify beyond anything in recorded history. Ice caps would melt. Sea levels would rise dramatically. The climate systems that make Earth habitable would begin an irreversible unraveling. Nearly all of humanity's food, directly or indirectly, depends on trees and the ecosystems they sustain. Trees provide fruit, nuts, and seeds eaten by billions. They shelter the pollinators that fertilize crops. They regulate the rainfall that irrigates farmland. Without them, global agriculture would collapse within 2 to 3 growing seasons. Staple crops, wheat, rice, corn, would fail as soil degradation and disrupted rainfall made cultivation impossible. Within a single decade, the world would face a food crisis affecting every nation on Earth. Famine, once a regional tragedy, would become the defining reality of human existence. Music builds with increasing unease. A global food crisis affecting every nation on Earth. The defining reality of human existence.
Human civilization was built in the shade of trees. Our first shelters were wood, our first fires, burning branches. Our greatest cities rose along forested river valleys. Take away the trees, and the very foundation of organized human life begins to erode. Resources would become so scarce that nations would fracture under the pressure. Water wars, food conflicts, and mass migrations would reshape the political map of the world. Historians estimate that resource scarcity has contributed to the fall of every great civilization. A world without trees would not test that theory. It would confirm it on a global and final scale. Science has confirmed what humans have always felt instinctively. Trees heal us. Spending time in forests reduces cortisol levels, lowers blood pressure, and improves immune function. Urban trees alone reduce air pollution that causes millions of premature deaths each year. Without trees, respiratory diseases would explode globally. Particulate matter, unfiltered by any natural barrier, would invade our lungs. But perhaps more profoundly, the psychological wound of a treeless world would be devastating. Humans evolved alongside nature. To remove it entirely would be to remove something fundamental to our sense of peace, purpose, and belonging in this world.
We do not live in a world without trees, not yet. But we are losing them at a rate of 15 billion every single year. The scenario you have just witnessed is not science fiction. It is the logical destination of a path we are already walking. Yet the extraordinary truth about trees is that they can come back. Given time, protection, and human commitment, forests can regenerate, rivers can return, species can recover, the climate can stabilize. We are the only species capable of causing this crisis, and the only species capable of preventing it. Every tree planted is a vote for the future. Every forest protected is a civilization preserved. The choice and the responsibility belongs to all of us.